our bottom part of the bracket. So I've already found one of our grand finalists for tomorrow's matchup with Team Empire taking out Speed Gaming. But right now we're going to see who can triumph as far as the boys who have swag and they're pretty coming from America going up against the guys who were definitely pretty, but they don't really need the swag because they'll just beat you up and then take it from you. They're the Carp McGrath boys from Fnatic EU and playing up against each other right now here in our first round of matchup. Joining me is the man who I'm not quite sure if he has swag or if he's pretty or if he's just able to beat people up. It's my co-commentator, BO1. Welcome back to the broadcast, man.
Why not all of the above? Come on, man. Give me a little bit of credit.
It could be, but you can't have too much of a good thing in one place.
Well, that might be a special exception, but right now, Pretty Boy Swag, they qualified for MLG Columbus. Fnatic was invited to MLG Columbus, and this should be a pretty exciting matchup. First time I've ever seen Pretty Boy Swag really take on a top-tier European team. I don't think they've really tried to participate in too many of these international cups, but obviously they want to get some practice before going to MLG Columbus. And looks like they've done their research because Wisp, he's not a bannable hero these days, except against Fnatic, who really runs him very consistently, and they run him to really great effect. And they've actually used him to beat some very, very high-tier teams, whether it be Navi or Alliance. And Fnatic, they've been really shaping up. They had a little bit of struggle after TI3, but ever since then, they've just been on fire recently. I think they have lost a series to VP and one to Navi and one to Alliance, but that's pretty much it as far as top-tier teams go. And maybe the lost VP was a fluke because they won, I think, 3 matches in a row before that.
Sorry, getting a little bit distracted by Van's call. He's sending me messages. It's like, how much money can we win? How much money can we win? How much money can we win? Like, man, 3.5k euro. How much you can win, man. I know if he's tuning in right now. He's probably watching the Russian live stream. Sorry. I haven't done that in a very long time where I've actually zoned out of a broadcast for a little bit. Well, I'm taking care of other stuff. All right. What do we got for our draft, man? What do we got for our draft? Run me through it. Run me through it.
Fnatic,
give me up to speed. Give me up to speed.
Fnatic, they got the Wisp ban out against them because Fnatic is one of the few teams who still run Wisp very, very effectively.
It was so stupid, their strat, man. Their Wisp timing is ridiculous.
Their Wisp anything. They run Wisp CK recently, and that was ridiculously good. CK actually broke the base with just drums and a BKB with a Wisp on his side. So Wisp CK, not nearly as powerful, but still pretty good. But I'm really surprised about this Abaddon opening.
Yeah, it's... actually, I was hoping that you wouldn't be surprised, considering you're from that region. You probably know Pretty Boy Swag a hell of a lot better than I do. Even though, like, I've watched these guys for a very, very long time, are they trying to go something old school with the Abaddon? Because normally, when you get an Abaddon pickup, it's almost instantly after you get a Doombringer will just come up. And I'm not really feeling Fnatic moving away from that. I'm surprised they actually go for the SD here of all things. But I was waiting for the Doombringer just to go inside the jungle. They couldn't lane it anymore because they've already got Era's Lifesteal and they've already got Trixie's Nature's Prophet. Their only other option would have been to put Hani on that Prophet in the middle lane, but he hasn't done that for a very long time.
Well, the thing about Abaddon is, yeah, he's synergizes pretty well with the Weaver. It's sort of like the Weaver Treant thing that used to be popular, except now you get a bit more damage, although Abaddon can't really keep up because it's not global range. But there's actually a North American strategy that runs Abaddon and Necrolite, and that pretty much says, you can't kill us ever. But I don't know if Pretty Boy Swag will necessarily run it in the first round of this tournament. I don't know if that's going to be a sort of a patented strategy going to MLG Columbus, or it's just, let's practice it as much as we can before MLG Columbus. But Abaddon Necrolite is pretty legit, but that is a very, very pocket North American strategy.
I can tell you right now, man, if you got anything secret, you use it now. Like, you're still going up against a team that qualified through the relegation match, not the relegation, through the group stages of TI3, and they still came out in the top 8. This is a team that went to Korea and completely decimated Team Liquid, as well as the Korean team that was there. They've at this point the only foreign team that's gone there and got a clean sweep because Speed as well as Dignitas weren't capable of achieving the same thing when they were there. And Pretty Boy Swag, well, I suppose in some way it's that you can't kill me ever kind of lineup with a Bristleback, but at the same time I am fearful of Bristleback going up against a Lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean, Bristleback, he has respectable armor, but Fnatic gonna bring out the Hani Invoker, and I know this is something that Fnatic really like to run these days. Actually, I think they get pretty mad when Invokers ban out against them, but I mean, Fnatic is just such a versatile team. can you ban out the Arrow Leicester? Do you have to ban out the No-Tail Wisp? You can't always ban out the Honey Invoker. So Pretty Boy Swag, yeah, it's going to be difficult to kill them, but right now they have one disable in the form of Frostbite, and that's going to be worrying for the Nature's Prophet because Crystalmain, of course, as you all know, is ridiculously immobile. And Pretty Boy Swag, they don't really have the best pushing arsenal, which is going to be a problem against Invoker, Shouty, and Shadow Poison, Nature's Prophet split push. Yeah, they have a Weaver, but the problem with Bristleback is he's good in fights, but he's pretty weak in terms of pushing because he doesn't take reduced damage from towers, and I mean, you just get lobbed all sorts of spells at him. He always wants to be facing back, but he can't do the damage to the towers when you're facing back because, of course, you have to turn around, and that just becomes really, really annoying. But actually, earlier today, YF ran a solo mid Bristleback against Night Stalker, and they won the game in about 15 minutes, but that's YF's Bristleback, so I don't know if that's a fair comparison to make.
It's a big different kettle of fish right there, man. We've got Lina being banned out here by Pretty Boy Swag. If I was them, actually going off something you were saying, I would have banned out the Latrak as opposed to banning out the Lina. They're thinking about the normal combinations with an SD. Hilarious thing is, through most of the games I've cast of ST, they haven't had a conventional coupler. It's just been another hero which is brought in to give a level of control. And then you find somebody else, like be it a jungler or be it just another controlling support hero. You can still pick up a Rubik in this game. You got Yakuchi to steal. You've got Abaddon shields to steal. You've got Crystal Maiden with a Nova and such to steal. And you're still got a mid-solo to come up here from Pretty Boy Swag, unless it is the Bristleback. And you still got a core hero to come up, and it's going to be a Death Prophet. Oh, can you just feel the Rubik with the ultimate? It's very, very simple right now for Fnatic. Their lanes are going to be solid, but at the same time, they need some real good DPS. This line still needs to get off to a very good start, and this Prophet can't be completely gimped at the start. He has got to be able to have some freedom and some farm, and Fnatic need to make sure of that too, with whatever other hero they put into this. Be a Prophet just into the jungle to get themselves another hero which can go on lane and have an escape mechanism up against these PB Swag boys. But yeah, Fly, last choice. You got 1 minute. Give it to us, man.
So if this were against any other lineup, Fnatic would have had the option to go aggressive Tron. They still have the option because, again, Shadow Demon Disruption into Invoker Sunstrike is pretty easy to execute for the most part, and you have Leicester damage to back it up. That should be a pretty easy kill, but with a Weaver or a Bristleback in the lane, supported by a Crystalmain or a Batten, that kill just becomes a lot more difficult. But Pretty Boy Swag, they're going to need to push, and they're going to need to push early, because once Fnatic start their split push game going, it's going to be so difficult for PBS to actually stop it, because, again, they have one disable. Weaver, he is pretty good at split pushing, but all the rest of his heroes on the side of Pretty Boy Swag, yeah, Death Prophet has some high move speed, but you don't really want her to stop a split push by herself. You want her to be with the rest of the team pushing down towers, not stopping towers from being pushed down.
Hey, man, can I quickly check to see what you're doing with your microphone? Because I think you're tapping it consistently when you're talking. Just want to see if it gets done.
I think it's a problem with my mic. 1 sec, let me fix it.
All right, wonderful. We'll get No-Tail Mirana. So we actually get a support coupler, normally done with a Naga net into a long-range arrow. But this will be a support Mirana. Been a while. It's been a while. We've seen her mid, we've seen her off lane, but I think it's been at least a month since I've actually cast anyone playing a support Mirana. But that will be their selection. So they do have potential now for aggressive trial if they want to put Prophet on the bottom lane. But they've also got a lot of potential for their bottom lane as far as just running the defensive move. Doesn't need to be risky at all. Just put the Mirana safely, pulling. But let's see if they want to go safe or if they want to be ballsy. We've got everybody moving up towards the top. So I think Fnatic are going to be grabbing the balls and just trying to go top. They'll be going up against... actually, I'm going to let you do the Pretty Boy introductions, man. So,
I see how it is. So.
I just want to make sure the names are done correctly.
Yep. So on the side of Pretty Boy Swag, we have Sleesel playing the Bristleback. He was, I think, second in the NEL rankings next to Ryu Boros. So 2 of the top 5 NEL players right there. But again, NEL and actual tournaments is a completely different thing. Cakes is playing the Weaver. Juby is playing the Crystalmain. Ryu Boros is playing the Death Prophet. And I'm a Sheep Sucks playing the Abaddon. Shouts to I'm a Sheep. Part of the old school Dota commentaries TeamSpeak. R.I.P.
Yeah, do you miss?
Well, you know, it was a nice community while it lasted, but people have moved on. But again, shout out to I'm a Sheep Sucks. It's nice to see that our TeamSpeak wasn't just, me scrubbing it up. We actually had some good players playing in that. Waga actually playing it from time to time.
All I'm saying is, man, it can live again. This is Dota. It's the world of opportunity, and Dota needs good casters.
Well, we'll see, as No-Tail is going to get a haste turn, and it looks like Arrow's going to the bottom lane. They're going to do an aggressive trial with Trixie. I've never seen this before.
This actually isn't too far out of the realm of like norm, because you've got Bristleback that can be controlled. Like, he hasn't gone Quelling Blade first. He's got Tangos. So he's still going to have to cut through a tree line if it does go down. And knowing the way Trixie's going to do it, if he does get sprout up here at level 2, he's going to put it on the opposite side. So he's going to cut through 2 trees, not just throw it directly on top of the Bristleback. But this is meant to be a disruption into an arrow. And they've got the space. Disruption, the trees, they move up, the arrow will connect. So the trees go for the body block and they go first around. Use the disruption illusions as well as the trees to hold him in. And that is Liesel already dead in the top lane. By the time that Jubei got over there, it was already too late. And the Observer was watching for him. In 8 seconds, 7 seconds, they can go again for this. No-Tail's already moving over. But I doubt they fully commit. 1 second, yeah, they can do this. That's a 5-second stun. And a really good amount of burst damage at the start. Boom. Illusions on the other side. And then attacking through the tree line as well. You've never seen it before, man, but you can enjoy it now.
Well, that was all before Hani even hit level 2. So now they have Sunstrike in the picture because he went for an Exhort Invoker.
We might use Sunstrike on bottom lane. Cakes. He had to get shielded up by I Am Sheep Sucks. That was the only way he was going to survive that one. You can see Eri deciding to go straight through the life of the Weaver when Shikuchi was still on cooldown. And they got rotation middle lane. No-Tail doesn't have mana for this, though.
Yeah, Hani actually picked up Quas LO2, but now he's going to get that 3rd point invoke, so now he has his Sunstrike online, and looks like this is just going to give Trixie a huge opening. He's going to get the Ring of Basilius online, which if he's forced in jungle, he can jungle very easily, but already off to a ridiculously good start. These supports on side Fnatic are already level 2, and these supports get pretty strong pretty quickly with our combination.
Mm-hmm. That's the crazy kind of thing. Like, they don't even need high levels. It's you get disruption and catch up and running, you're like, okay, that's really great. But you've always got the help of the Invoker Sunstrike. And then you got Mirana. Like, Mirana's level 1 arrow is already powerful as hell. The fact it got buffed up the way it did makes it so powerful. And they're rotating bottom now. So No-Tail comes down here. They have no idea. Like, the Dire Vision, it's now only just going to scout out Fly over the corner, which means they've got to back up. He is so close. They might feel like Abaddon can break out of the stun, but the Sunstrike is going to be almost instant. And coming out of the disruption is going to be right on the money, so the shield won't protect him.
And this is just really smart lane transitioning. They know Weaver is probably the best shot that Pretty Boy Swag have in the late game, but again, the really smart rotation, like you said, in the top lane. Fly actually started with boots first, and now he has 600 gold on top of that. So he's going to get the curry upgrade right about now, probably. And right now, Fnatic are just rolling at this stage. Jubei is just getting owned by these treants for the most part. And because Bristleback is a mid,
bottom lane,
can't really do too much.
There's your disruption. Sunstrike's in. The arrow's able to connect. And there's the shield as well as the life coming out from LOA. And now you realize just how much of a tool he really is.
Yeah, he is kind of, well, I don't know how PG-13 this stream is, but he is kind of a dick.
Yeah, that you can use language like that. It's okay. We just don't go overboard. But tool I like from Australia, it's a very soft insult. It's a very soft insult. Then again, I sometimes get myself in trouble for that, because what's the soft insult in Australia is completely different over in Europe. Middle lane. Ubora's in a little bit of trouble. Cold Snap, it's going to bite time for Fly to get himself in range. Disruption, catcher, arrow, perfect hit. And then it looks like clockwork. It really looks just so simple in execution.
Man, Fnatic, they're just rolling with these combos. If you ban out the Wisp, we're going to pick Shadow Demon Mirana. If you ban out the Lifesteal, well, we'll just get one of our other many carries that we use to dominate the game. So Fnatic really expanding their arsenal of heroes, and right now it's coming into very great effect. Hani, this is exactly what he needs. He picks up the Null Talisman, but look for him to transition back into Midas, because, as you all know, Invoker with that Midas wants the experience, wants the gold, and he'll be able to get it at an accelerated pace if he does decide to go for that Midas build.
See, I'm wondering if he will too. Like, you are right. Like, most Invokers are going Midas, and I suppose with the way this game's already gone, I kind of felt like we're 8 minutes into it. I'm like, oh, it's probably late for a Midas. Doesn't really have to pick it up just yet. But we're only 5 minutes in. He's got another Talisman as well as his Ring of Basileus up and running in the mid. He hasn't died once. In fact, he's actually got himself 1 kill to his name at 18 CS over the top of Acropolis, who is actually sitting 21-3. So the CS battle is obviously going the one way in the mid, but you've also got kills. Top lane, speaking of kills, trees to be created. Notal leaps in. He's trying to get the bonus movement speed to Fly, so Fly can get himself in range. And then the tree blocks, not going to work. Sunstrike's coming in. They focus on the Crystal Maiden. There's an easy kill. And while Sleesel, he's got a lot of quills over into the Fnatic lineup, but the trees are still there. They'll get cleaned up. And I'm a Sheep Sucks has to come in here. There's a TP coming at the tier 2 towers. They try to actually trap Fnatic in between a rock and a hard place. And the pings are coming out saying up to Mirana, please come up towards the top lane. And that's the reason why. Trixie had ulti. He's already thrown it out. That's a very low life. Bristleback. And now Arrow, I'm not seeing a fly. They don't need to. In fact, denial. Nicely done. Sunstrike off the wrong corner. Arrow, check the lower one. The Sunstrike already checked at the high one. Notal didn't throw. LOA still denies himself, so that's an upside here for PB Swag.
These supports, man, what more can you say? These supports are just dominating the game, and that is just freeing up the lane so much. Era, he's used to getting ridiculously good free farm in the bottom lane, but he's more than happy to take control of it, or leave the supports to control the game at this stage, and they're doing just that. And actually, this regen rune, oh no, Ryuboros, please.
Oh no, he didn't even attack him. He hasn't even attacked him once, so Era, all the mana he just used, he just got back too. The Sunstrike's in a perfect position. Nuke. You can see I am Sheep Sucks like, I got you, man. I got you. Oh, last moment. Bullet takes out the kneecap. And Sleesel too far out.
Should have probably miscoiled, but I don't know if he really had the range on that either, as that range on Fnatic Shield is pretty bad. But top lane, once again.
Yeah, Trixie's getting gooed up right now, but Fly, he's in here as well. And now Sleesel separated himself from the creep wave, which means Disruption, Catcher, Arrow. Oh, this is the first time Notel's going to miss that one. And Trixie just wants to TP himself out. He realizes the damage that the Bristleback can do. Notel, he's got 7 1 charges up right now. He's going to use them all if he wants to try and attempt to survive. Not possible. And now Prophet Ultimate. Hello! Era in as well. Sunstrike with the open wounds. Honey has now grabbed himself 4 kills, and he hasn't even left his lane for him. Like, the middle lane, he killed off the Crobulus, and the rest of them's all been Sunstrikes. And now Arrow middle lane. Oh, he moved back! It connects, and the Courier's watching the high ground. So they don't lose any vision. They have an observer ward there anyway. I guess that's just Miss Micro, because the Zebra's almost dead.
And Hani says, who needs Midas when I'm getting experience from Sunstrike kills? And he picks up Oblivion Staff. This is going to be such a fast Orchid, and Pretty Boy Swag, this is a push lamp. They don't want to go late game. So to say they're in for a world of trouble, well, that's putting it mildly, to say the least.
Yeah, Fnatic have everything they want. They can, and if they don't have it, they'll take it in just a couple of moments' time. Notel's moving up inside the jungle. They're about to get a little bit of... they've already got vision on Sleesel. He's got negative armor because of these Forge Spirits, and now Disruption. Line, may as well just be a point-blank range catcher. In fact, they're not even going to use the arrow. They just go straight into... Oh, they do. They execute him with the arrow. Fly, stick charges. Crystal Maiden, one more attack. No, not there. Sunstrike's still on cooldown for another 15 seconds too. The Crystal Maiden, walk a random path. Invoker doesn't have enough mana to do it anyway.
Well, Pretty Boy Swag is just basically saying, screw this, let's try to push down towers, but Lifestealer is just going ham, pills off I'm a Sheep Sucks, Infest goes on to Cakes, and this is just brutal. Ryuboros could be in for a lot of trouble, as the Sprout is actually going to trap Cakes, but I don't know if they saw him, and Cakes will be able to retreat for now, as actually we're going to see a teleport bomb by Crystal Main. They really want to get this tower, but Exorcism is already down. I don't know if they can take it now, but with the Crystal Main, they're going to try, to say the least.
With the tower as long as it is, they may have a chance. They might also realize, too, the Fnatic has no mana. Like, you got Shadow Demon coming down here on the bottom lane. What's he going to do? Like, you want to give some clarities over? You don't have any clarities. And the bottom tower attempted denial there from Trixie, not going to work. Now he's snotted, but TP's out. The bugs will fly in, but Trixie's already home and hosed. And they frostbite, but that's not a profit.
Yep, Crob going the standard crop build, not taking that point of silence. Some crops like to get 1 point of silence at level 4 just in case that happens.
But... He's trying to get the timing right. Nah, denied. Death Prophet will get it. Death Prophet TP'd in to try and stop him from doing that just then. But then middle lane, they're coming in again, dude. Fly, disruption, catcher, no tell, point blank range arrow, no shields, no denials, stunned up, locked, controlled, 12 for 1. 10 minutes in.
If this game were a bit closer, I'd say good job, PBS, getting 2 tower denies, but unfortunately this game is out of control already, and it's barely 10 minutes in.
It's what we call happy hour, where drinking makes everything better.
Well, in America, it's barely 3:40. It's just... And that's
so it's
East
happy.
Coast. If they're on the West
happy
Coast,
hour.
it's noon.
That's like the city that doesn't sleep, man. That's what it's all about. Happy hours, like bright and early in the morning, which is technically your night.
Anyways,
no hand in Midas for Hardy. I'm actually really happy to see that again. And we're not a full hand in -3. Trixie's got his. He's already initiating up on Bristleback, but it's bait. He's trying to make Bristleback come out, which is exactly what he did. But not far enough, though. Not far enough for Fly to get himself into position for this. But they got 4 spirits coming up. Era's waiting for somebody to walk up to try and ward on that hill. And it's like, I may as well just get involved in this. Attacking on towers. They got 4 drum charges available. Honey's got the Orchid up on him. Purge is already available now on the ST, so he's level 6, 11 minutes in on this support. Well, Trixie, where's that arrow flying? It's coming up into the tier 3. No one's there though. But are they really, like, we're 11 minutes in, and they're gonna try and breach the base.
They say Hani has an Orchid. Why not? No, they're gonna back off for now. But this is just biding their time because, I mean, I don't really know what PVS can do. This is just grim.
Just think really, really happy thoughts. Find a Tinkerbell, and then just shake her.
Well, if they had a Tinker, then this game would be over for 30 more minutes. But they don't have a Tinker.
It's true. I suppose we can count ourselves lucky with that one. So we have Coddle, Tinker, and Elder Titan on PB Swag. 40-minute game, at least. But not to be the case. Fly trying to come towards mid lane. They need a 4-stop. And there's smoke coming out from PB Swag. And Cake's already been revealed. Fly, disruption. Catcher, sentry ward, arrow flies in, hits on the Weaver, and they actually break him out with a shield, but he dies almost instantly after Deafening Blast, pushing back almost all of PB Swag, while Era is just having a feast day. It's a buffet, and PB Swag's guts are on the table. Harney's trying to move back. There's your dust, and they can see him, but can they kill him off before they pick off Harney? He timelets back out, infest damage. He's got 1, he's got 2. It's got a triple kill right now for Era. Sunstrike is on top of Cake, and it nails him down. It's just not fair. GG, tap out, give the towel.
Well, that's pretty much all I need to be said. Well, that's it.
Oh, well, what's the phrase? Thoughts?
Thoughts? Fnatic got everything they wanted, and they executed perfectly. That was a perfect game by Fnatic.
That's good thoughts, man. That's good thoughts. We're going to have ourselves a short break here, peoples, and we're going to jump ourselves into the other part of the bracket. Mouseboards have already managed to qualify themselves through into the next round. So we're going to join them in their matchup against either Stay Free or SSD. So we'll see if the other American team competing in this big special Eizo Cup will be able to get themselves through, or will it be SSD? So Mini and crew, we'll find out in just a couple of moments. So stay tuned. We'll be back.